Hey everybody, it's Wayne. In today's video, I'm giving you guys an update on my PayPal wheel endeavor. In May of 2023, I purchased 100 shares of PayPal. You can see here for $64.96 per share. We're just going to go ahead and round up and say I paid $6,500 for those 100 shares. And I'm happy to say, since purchasing the 100 shares, I have been very disciplined. Take a look here at the strike column in this spreadsheet, and I have never sold below my cost basis. That's really important if you're beginning your wheel strategy, and if you are assigned 100 shares of the stock, or let's say you buy the 100 shares outright like I did, you want to make sure that you're never selling below your cost basis. And as it turns out, I have been able to be very successful at earning premium, yet never selling below cost basis. Take a look here, guys. I've earned $865 in premium. Not bad. That equates to about a 13% return if we simply just divide the premium by the total amount that I paid for the 100 shares. Now, here's what's interesting. Let's go ahead and scroll down and take a look here at some PayPal stats. And you can see the 52-week low is actually $50.25. Which of course means in the last year or so, I wish I would have purchased closer to that share price. And that brings me here to my wife's account. Let's go ahead and take a look here at my new spreadsheet. I'm gonna go ahead and just focus on PayPal transactions. And you'll notice the 6 contracts that you see at the very top are all gonna be written by me. Let's go ahead and just focus on my wife's account, because once again, similar to what I did last year, rather than just writing the cash secured put and waiting to be assigned, I saw an opportunity to buy 100 shares at what I think is a fair market price. Now, my wife and I are also wheeling stocks from her brokerage, which has about 27,000. And you can see here on the right-hand side, we currently own 100 shares of TLT and 100 shares of PayPal. Let's go back to that spreadsheet, and you'll see after buying the 100 shares of PayPal in my wife's account, I wrote a covered call with a strike price of $59. That means, without even knowing what I paid for those 100 shares, you know, with my mantra today, at the very minimum, that would be above my cost basis. So let's go back over here and take a look at how much I paid for these 100 shares when I purchased them outright in my wife's brokerage. The 100 shares that I purchased, I actually have a much better cost basis. In fact, my average cost on these 100 shares of PayPal is $57.70. Now, this is where things get interesting. Because I paid $57.70, I actually would have stood to have not only earned the premium of $62, but I also would have experienced some capital gains. Here's what's kind of crazy about last week, because this contract did expire this past Friday on the 16th. And if we look at the PayPal chart here, take a look here at where PayPal finished for market trading day on Friday. You can see here as I slightly move to the right, that's going to be after hours. So technically, PayPal finished at $59.14. In any other given scenario, that would have meant, without exception, those 100 shares would have been called away. So what happened? And it is interesting to point out that occasionally the buyer of the contract may choose to not exercise on those 100 shares. Now, certainly his break-even price had a consideration. Remember, when I received a premium of $62, that also means somebody paid that $62. Now, of course, if you're the buyer, of course, they were hoping that PayPal was going to go well above $59. Most likely, they were hoping that PayPal, at a very minimum, would get to $59.62. That would have put them at a break even. But that didn't happen. And in fact, PayPal finished, as I mentioned, at $59.14. So I got really lucky that I got to keep my 100 shares. Not only that, but PayPal is currently sitting at around $58.77. So that means come Tuesday, because we are in a 3-day weekend, you know it, guys, the first thing that I'm going to do at the open of market is I'm going to go ahead and sell a covered call against those 100 shares. Now, we know my break even is $57.70, but I'm also going to try to generate some premium in addition to balancing potential capital gains. If I were to sell at $59, which was the last contract that I sold, I stand to gain about $116 for that contract. Now, if I wanted to lock in some capital gains, I could choose a $60 strike price, and that would get me $73, right? So as I go up in strike price, the less premium that I'm going to earn. But if in fact PayPal has a nice increase over the next couple of days, maybe I want to choose a higher strike price, which will get me more capital gains at the cost of slightly less premium. So of course, anything could happen. PayPal could go down in share price. Again, going back to its chart, we certainly know in the last 52 weeks, PayPal has gone as low as $50 per share. So that's something that I need to keep in mind as well. But I wanted to show you how the wheel strategy, even for a stock that's quote unquote only $60 per share, can certainly generate some meaningful premium. So there you have it. PayPal, I think, is going to make me some decent premium in the next few months. Let's go ahead and give you guys a quick summary of all the premium that I've made, not only from selling covered calls. Remember, now my wife has 100 shares of PayPal. I've owned 100 shares of PayPal since May of last year. We're both determined to not sell below our cost basis. And if we look at all the covered calls that I've written against PayPal in 2024, we have made collectively $253. Now remember, I'm not only selling covered calls against PayPal, but I'm also actively selling cash secured puts. Now I will tell you, a couple of weeks ago during PayPal earnings, I had to make a decision where I bought to close the contract at a loss. And that was because I really thought PayPal was going to thrive on earnings and do better than what it had. And it didn't. And unfortunately, we're seeing the slump in PayPal. But that's okay. Even despite having a loss on that contract, I'm still up $212 this year with selling cash secured puts. If we take a look at all the premium that I've earned in 2023, again, $674. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the cash secured puts in total that I wrote in 2023. Again, not spectacular, but I made collectively $165. So if you add up the 165, you add up the 674, if you add up the 212, and you add up the 253, not bad considering this is a stock that's hovering right around $60. So if you guys are interested in doing some more research, take a look at PayPal. I'm certainly going to be wheeling the stock that's selling covered calls as well as cash secured puts. I'll give you guys an update, let you know how much premium that I earn in the upcoming week, and we'll see you guys on the next one.